Hi. Oh, look, Kevin's joining us. The one guy I thought wasn't going to be here is coming in. Maybe. The one guy who wasn't going to be... Oh, his audio isn't on yet. The one guy who wasn't going to be here is here.
I decided to hop on for a few minutes to say hi to everybody.
Sounds like my audio is
We
working
appreciate
since
that.
I'm listening to the YouTube too. So great. That's positive. Everything's working for once. So hi, everybody. We're supposed to have a few more people join us. This is not our normal night, so some people have lives. I don't know why. But we decided to do this because we are celebrating, quote unquote, celebrating our first year anniversary. This time last year was actually a Wednesday, but this July 13th, Jessi says she's on her way. July 13th, 2022, back in the bygone era, we dropped our first episode, The Gathering. Now, we had started recording this sucker back in June of 2022, but we started releasing the episodes in July. So these bastards have had to deal with me for 13 months. You've only had to deal with me for 12 months. But let's wait for Jessi to pop on. She was feeding her dog.
Some of us have been dealing with you. Oh, I'm kidding.
For much longer?
What people are saying lives. Did I mistype it? Is that what happened? You guys always complain about my ability to type. Did I say lives instead of live? Is that what everyone's yapping about? Are you guys just doing some inside stuff that I don't get? Let me see. No, it says live. What the hell is your problem, everybody? David, what's your problem?
Is it your comment about the rest of the podcast members having lives outside
Oh,
of this?
that's why. Okay.
Because
Okay.
you are old and already forgot what you said.
See, it takes me a minute. I need more alcohol. Now I'll be fine. Steven was joking about you not having lives. All right, I got you now. I got you. Okay, so we're just going to chat, guys. Jessi says she's going to be on whenever she gets done feeding her dog, and Nicole, I guess, is doing some kind of like humanitarian effort. So whenever she pops on, she'll pop on as well. The rest of our guys may or may not come on. And we're just going to, spend about an hour chatting and talking to you all. Mega, dude, we got to have a conversation here. Because, Mega, I love you to death, but you keep giving us money. And, yeah, I'm not going to complain, but I'm going to complain. Because, dude, whatever, I'll take it. But thank you so much, Mega. We appreciate it.
We do.
Everyone make sure to go look up Mega Reacts on YouTube and check it out because he does a lot more stuff other than Babylon 5, but he does Babylon 5 as well. Thanks, Mega. Oh, we have to talk about it. What happened to going live with everyone in the garage? Well, let me tell you about Nicole and how Nicole rolls in about an hour late. And also, we were having some sound issues, so we didn't do the live in the garage. But we recorded something in the garage that will be coming out, and I will be able to edit the audio so it sounds much prettier. So that's why we didn't do the live then. Aaron says he's the only one to remember the cartoon. Oh, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. No, I remember the Flintstones, man. I also remember the Flintstones smoking because I'm old.
The most popular animated series of all time for the longest time.
The longest running,
Flintstones was good stuff.
It was the longest running primetime.
Flintstones was good stuff.
It was the longest running primetime animated show until Simpsons took it over.
Yeah. I don't think The Simpsons will ever be unseated from that. I really don't.
I don't either. Speaking of The Simpsons, here comes Jessi. I don't know why. That just made sense to me. Yeah, Aaron, I do.
That was the best segue I ever heard.
Except for not. Oh, Jonathan says, or however you pronounce that, Scott, there was a Zoom glitch and I saw shadows above your head. Be careful of shadows. They move. Yeah, it's my mic. There, I have my mic above my head now. I've upgraded. David, you're older than we are. So, you're old. Okay. So, Nicole's going to be joining us too in a bit. Oh my God, my kids are screaming because of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? Nicole's going to be joining us after she does her humanitarian effort. But so we'll introduce ourselves. Not that you all don't know us, but, and David says, hi, Jessi. I'm Scott.
Hi, David.
And with me is, just going around the horn.
Jessi.
Somebody speak.
Emily.
And Kevin.
God, you're all staring at each other. So
Yeah,
again,
but I don't know.
What, Emily?
You. Nothing.
Did you just mute me?
I want to let the ladies go first. What do you want?
Okay. First big question. How many seasons do we think The Simpsons will run before it finally ends? It ended back in 2003. It just is like doing death rattles now.
I think it'll go 35, and I think they'll call it quits.
They're probably going to have another movie, too. Just because.
Is it not over? I thought it was done.
No,
this is how Jessie's up to up on pop culture. Benway says this is fun. Benway, you're lying.
I haven't seen a episode of Simpsons in like, God, 20 years.
You and a lot of people. Not unless you're talking about the old ones.
The good
Because every
ones.
time I see a rake on the ground, I can't stop from going.
Mega's got it right. It's a 20-year death rattle, is what The Simpsons are in right now.
Yeah.
Hey, Mega.
It's pretty sad.
There's a thin black
Who else
line.
is here? Anybody fun?
There's no thin line between them.
Excuse me.
That thin line is the chat.
I see you guys all the freaking time.
Yeah, I hear you. Plus, I'm not fun anyway.
The big question is, from Steven, the real question is how many times will Futurama be canceled? At least 3.
Yeah.
We're going for at least 3. Reptilian says Simpsons may go for 40 seasons at this point. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, guys. We are still waiting for Nicole, but I'm going to stop waiting until she pops up. Somebody said there's a thin line between across Kevin and Jessie's faces. That's your computer screen, because I'm looking at the YouTube feed right now, and it's fine. So, may need a new monitor, maybe. But what we're going to do is we're just going to...
I'm seeing it too.
What?
What?
Maybe it's the shadows. Can you see them?
Emily, speak. What? You spoke up and you stopped.
I can see the line too.
I'm looking at it right now. What line?
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the damn screen right now.
Yeah, I don't see it either on my feed.
Emily, can you describe
I
what
can
it
see it
is?
It is a super just thin line that goes straight across. It's cutting across Kevin's forehead and across Jessi as well. It goes all the way across.
I know what that is. I know what that is. You guys are crazy. That's like a little... That is the transparency of this. The chat. The pop-up chat. So when I don't have a chat popping up, it's a little bit... Reptilian says he's heard it's been good for the past couple seasons. I don't know. I haven't watched it. And then... Yeah. So yeah, there's a little thin line, and if you all see that, you have better glasses than me. Okay.
I can't see shit, so clearly I'm not.
Yeah, well,
everybody sees it but me.
Yeah,
it's a pretty big monitor I got going on the other side, so.
Yeah. It's the chat overlay.
I'm on my laptop. I just waved at you like you were going to see it. I'm on my laptop.
What I could do is shrink all our faces, and then the line would go away, but I'm not going to worry about it. At least I got the audio working this time. David says, I don't see it, but I'm on a phone. Yeah. How dare you use, the technology that everyone uses in 2023? How dare you? Benway says, fine for me, but I'm drunk. Great. Thanks, Benway. And then Mega, which I would let a joke like this just die, but since you just paid us $17, I saw the line. It opened up my mind. I saw the line, is what Mega says.
I saw the line.
And then Wokel has to go one more dad joke beyond and goes, this is the battle of the line Sinclair warned us about. God, mother.
Oh, that was good.
What? Mega gave us money already?
Yeah, I did. Look,
yes.
Look, here, I'll pull it up again. Boop! There it is. Look at that. If you're on YouTube, you see it. Jesse's like, I don't see anything.
I don't see shit.
It says, congrats on 1 year. I look forward to continuing the journey in the amazing universe that is Babylon 5. While we're waiting for people to put questions in, and people in the chat, put questions in so we can actually talk to you. But until then, I want to talk to these guys a little bit. And I'll go to Kevin first because he is a first one, and I don't... Oh, my God. Tim just gave us $20.
Thank you, Tim.
Holy crap. Tim's like, Scott, shut up. Here's money to shut up.
Stop talking, Scott. Here's $20.
Please, God. Just stop. Tim says, for your time watching season 1, here's $20.
You're the best. Thank you.
Jacob asks, is that the infection tax? Yes, it is. It's also the exogenesis tax because we just had to do that one too.
What about TKO?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so real quick, I'm starting to get questions in the chat. We'll get to those, but first, I want to go around the horn and just for a quick second or two, tell me what you thought was going to happen with this podcast when you started, and that includes it wasn't going to make it past episode 2. And tell me your thoughts about where we are right now. We're about halfway through the show. We've still got a few more episodes to record before we get the halfway point because we're going to do movies too. But we're getting there. Oh my God, Nicole's showing up. She's only 45 minutes late. Yay, Nicole. So Kevin, where did you think the podcast was going to go a year from now, and where do you feel it is now? Hi, Nicole. Nicole doesn't have audio yet.
I'm not kidding. I thought we'd have 5 people listening, and it was mostly going to be our friends and family. And even they were going to be like, oh, wait, I've got to watch Babylon 5 to listen to your podcast and understand anything that's going on. No, thanks.
Nicole.
But.
Oh, go ahead, Kevin. You're not done. Go for it, please.
No. That's all right. Go ahead.
No, please. I was just go. Do it.
Okay. So, that's what I thought would happen. It's been an amazing ride. We're getting to, or have just gotten to my favorite part of the series. Everything, for the most part, that comes after now is going to be really pretty exciting and really interesting for the newbies, and it's going to be enjoyable for the rest of us to see it through their eyes. There's very, very few troubling episodes between now and the onset of season 5. And we'll have a lot of fun with one of them, which I'm sure that anyone who's seen the series knows the one that's coming up.
No one say anything in the chat. The newbies don't know. Shush.
Yeah. Please don't say anything in the chat.
Cut the absolute first one's crap. I've had enough.
No spoilers in the chat, kids. No spoilers.
Yeah,
but I
please
have
no.
For that episode, I have plans, and I'm working on those plans.
I'm not surprised by this. So anyway, that's what I thought would happen, is that we really wouldn't have that many people watching, and we'd have a few diehards, and we have that, but we have lots more diehards and lots of people who watch it and listen, and it's really cool. Before I go on, Jacob, thank you. Jacob says, sadly, I have to open up at work, so take a $5 and cannot wait to see your shocked Pikachu faces when more season 3 bombs drop. Tell these newbies, and okay, I will say, Emily has recorded a couple. Jessi's recorded one. She just can't upload it because she's 55 years old. But tell these newbies, Nicole, I'm looking at you, film reactions. Guys in the chat, tell these guys you want to see them react to these episodes because it's like pulling teeth to get them to do it. So tell them. Okay, Nicole, since you just arrived, what we're doing is real quick, we're going to go around and say where you thought this podcast was going to go a year from ago when we started and compared to where we are now. And it's a valid answer to say, I didn't think we were going to get past episode 2. That's a valid answer. So, Nicole, what do you say?
Well, it was more so to me that I wasn't sure that we would all get along past 5 episodes, because there's a lot of strong people and strong voices in the podcast. And I wasn't sure what the dynamic was going to be or how it would go. I mean, I could get along with pretty much anyone. So I was hopeful that we would be fine. But for me, I always thought it could be big because I've seen the sci-fi community in other realms on what fandom is really like. Like, I know this is not a sci-fi thing. This is a horrible example. I'm probably going to get roasted for doing it, but I am one of the Twilight freaks, okay? And I saw what the fan base for Twilight and Vampire Diaries and all these other shows are like. And I was thinking to myself, I know how crazy the Trekkies are. I know how crazy the Star Wars people are. Not crazy in a bad way, like dedicated and interested and excited.
Dedicated. That's a way to put it.
Yeah. But like, so in my mind, I thought, okay, if we can get the flow down and we can get everything like smooth, I always knew and thought that this could be huge. But I am also a professional broadcaster. So for me, this is my wheelhouse. Like, this to me is not threatening or uncomfortable in any way. You put a mic in front of me, I'll talk for hours about anything. So I always knew that if worse came to worse, I could probably carry the conversation and get people to open up or talk. You know what I mean? So I always had faith that we would be successful. I did not, however, realize how successful we would be so fast. And it's really awesome to see. And I really feel like we have found our flow and we have our fan base and we've got our niche. And now it's just off to the races, you know? So I guess, long story short, I'm Miss Positive that people want to punch in the face. So I always had hope that we would be successful and everything would go great. I just didn't expect it to be so fast. I thought it might have been a slower burn. But I'm not surprised because, like I said, when you have something that has such a good and hardcore fan base, it can be successful if it doesn't suck. And I don't think we suck. So, and neither do our fans, apparently. So clearly we're doing something right, hopefully. But yeah, so I just wasn't sure how it was going to go, but I am so happy with the way it's turned out and so grateful that we have such an awesome fan base and that we have this awesome group. And just getting to see you guys in person the other night was just so fun and awesome. And like, I'm excited to see where it goes next. And I'm also excited to find out what freaking happens.
Notice how when I give it to the radio personality and say, just a few minutes or a few seconds, talk to us about it.
Sorry.
She goes on for 5. This is normal. This is normal. It's
Sorry.
okay. I'm used to it. Jessi, what do you think about the podcast when we started and where are we now in your thoughts?
Well, I didn't want to do it. I watched The Gathering and I was like, this is not for me. Don't like it. Don't want anything to do with this. This sucks. And then I watched the first episode and got even more pissed off. And hated all of the great characters and was just negative for the first, like, I don't know, what, 16 episodes? I don't know. Until Signs and Portents. And then I was like, oh, okay, maybe this isn't so bad. Super surprised that people watch us and super surprised that all of you amazing, awesome B5 nuts hang out with us and interact with us and just do the coolest shit. And I love it. I'm not going to tell you where we're at because I'm not allowed to, but I just watched probably the most amazing episode that was ever made. And I loved every second of it. And I'm really excited now to like watch the episodes except Exogenesis. I fucking hated it. And I don't believe the first ones when they say anything at all at this point. So they're like, oh, season 3 is going to be great from now on. I don't believe you. I don't, because you've said that over and over and over. And then I see freaking Exogenesis. So.
Well, Jessi, Reptilian Samurai in Dizzying Heights says that watching you stop being a hater was one of the best parts of the podcast. So good job pissing people off to begin with. That's great. Good job. And Emily, where you thought we were at the beginning and where it was going to go and compared to now?
I really didn't expect it to go much of anywhere. I know sci-fi, I know fandoms can get pretty sizable, and I was a bit worried that we might get a lot of backlash because some of us were incredibly critical of the series to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people can get very protective over their fandoms and special interests, but it's really awesome to see how overall the community has been great and supportive, and that we even have a Patreon and people like give us money so we can keep going is just mind-blowing to me, and I appreciate all of it. It's fantastic.
For those who didn't know, we have a Patreon. I just put it in the chat.
We have a Patreon.
It's right there. So if you can, check out patreon.com/Grey17podcast. And thank the people down below who are listed as producers. They are our Grey Council members, and they give us the highest amount of support every single week. We've also got a Discord that has over 60 people in it now, and you can get access to the Discord just by doing any donation on Patreon. So if you want to get in on both the general B5 discussion with the hosts, at least the hosts who know how to use Discord, we're still working on some of the grandpas and grandmoms to get that done. But we also have a Beyond the Rim section for just all that spoiler talk. So you can check out that as well, too. Yeah, I'll be really quick for me. Blake and I had been working on putting this sucker together for years. We had a couple different iterations and thoughts, and finally I just threw out on my Facebook, hey, does anyone want to watch an old show with me for 2 years? And these were the idiots who said yes. So I'm really excited to see where we are. I will say, I was just looking at the numbers. Sometime this week, we are going to cross 200,000 listens of the show.
Wow.
200,000. Before season 3 is up, we will have had 250,000 plays of our show. That is insane to me, and I want to thank everyone in the chat, everyone listening on the audio and on the YouTube after the fact, because to Kevin's point, we just really wanted to get together and hang out and chat about a show, but the fact that you all have joined us on this journey is amazing, and I have a feeling that with the next 3 episodes that are coming out next week, the week after, and the week after, we're going to see a lot of new people joining on board too, so I'm looking forward to having all of them join us as well. So let's go into the chat, guys. I asked people what questions they had. Now, we're going to make this lightning round, okay? Because I want to get through as many questions as I can. So don't, Nicole, talk for an hour, okay? Okay?
Yeah, don't pull a Nicole. Okay, got it.
Okay. So first question, let's see. Let me find one here. Okay. Reptilian Samurai says, what is each of your favorite and least favorite episodes so far? And this will give away where we are in the recording. That's fine, Jessi. You're fine. Jessi, go ahead.
I don't even remember what it was called. What did we just watch?
Severed Dreams.
Yep, Severed Dreams. That's my favorite. Oh, holy shit. Holy fucking shit. Excuse my language. But it was the most, like, everything I've asked for. My least favorite. Ooh, that's hard. Because there's been several that I've just, like, absolutely hated. Hated Exogenesis. Hated Infection. Hated TKO a lot. Despite what somebody on another podcast tried to pitch it as the most perfectly drafted
that
episode
other guy
ever. Fuck off, sir. That was terrible.
She's starting fights against other podcasts now. This is great.
JK, the other guy. I'm just kidding. We love you. Let's see.
That's a lot.
Trying to fight the urge to be like, hi, Ryan.
I said one episode bad, one episode good. You gave me like 10. So we're going to move on. Nicole.
I'm sorry. Okay, move on. Moving on.
Favorite episode and least favorite episode.
I also have to go with Severed Dreams, but shout out to Science and Portents because I love
There
that
you go.
episode
Good
too.
one. Good one.
And I liked Chrysalis as well. That was another good one.
Okay.
But I would say least favorite is the Dead Kid one.
That would be Believers. Believers.
Yeah, Believers.
Didn't like that one
yeah, Believers and Exogenesis really sucked.
It's fresh on your mind. So Emily, they've given me like 15. So go ahead. Least favorite and most favorite episode.
Favorite, Severed Dreams.
Okay.
Because of Delin. And least
somewhere
favorite
else.
would be TKO.
TKO. Okay.
With that TKO. It make yeah.
Kevin.
Ryan's here. Hi, Ryan.
Oh, Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Jessi just started blushing because Ryan popped in the chat.
What a great time to throw it to Kevin when everyone's like, "Yeah, Ryan's
Sorry.
here." What, Kevin? What?
Bring on the yum
Ryan's
yum.
here.
Bring it on.
That's
okay,
nasty,
so-
Scott.
So this is just proof that you may not be able to believe what Scott and Blake and perhaps even Mike say, but I've been saying all along how incredibly good Severed Dreams is. So you guys can believe me when I say stuff. That is my favorite episode of the series. And my least favorite is really tough between Infection and Exogenesis. I think I gotta go with Exogenesis, though. It's just mind-numbingly awful to me.
So for me,
I hated
most
mine,
of my
so
favorite episodes.
Ryan was right. I
Sorry,
really
Jessi.
did.
What was that?
Sorry, Scott.
Go for it.
No, I hated Knives too.
Nice.
Ryan was right.
Okay. So for me, most of my favorite episodes we haven't
Sorry.
gotten. Jessi. Jessi is missteps a lot. So my favorite episodes we haven't gotten to yet. I will say Severed Dreams is absolutely up there. I also love Passing Through Gethsemane as a personal favorite of mine. But we have, off the top of my head, 5 episodes coming up that are in my top 5. So yeah, we haven't gotten to my favorite episodes yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. One of them is late in season 5, so we got some time. Let's see here. What else do we got for questions? First off, Christopher just said our motto for the podcast: every failure is but another step towards success. We are full of failures here at Grade 17, so I appreciate that. Let's see. Not going to be pushy, but I will tell them they must film reactions. Neil just wants to certain moments happen. If you watch the Justin reaction video, Neil, that's kind of what I did. It's not a full, like, he sits in front of the TV for 45 minutes, but I cut to where he actually had some really good reactions. So that's what we're going to be going with if I can get more done. I have some for Exogenesis. I just haven't put them out yet. Oh, let's see. See, now Nicole jinxed me because she said Tim had a good one, and now I'm trying to find Tim's, and I think I skipped over it. It's all... Okay. There it is. What was your holy crap moment when you realized this was getting popular? What was your holy crap moment when you realized, hey, people are actually listening to this shit show? Emily.
When someone asked if we had a Patreon.
There you go.
And I was like,
And we
holy
didn't.
crap, someone's asking because they want to give us money. What is happening? Why do they want to give us money? I'm not against it. I'm just curious why. Still wondering, but we'll take it.
Kevin, how about you?
That was my very first thought that I had. I would struggle to find another moment that was just as impactful that way. Perhaps. I've got another one. So I called up YouTube one point, and before my son completely wrecked my YouTube account with Nerf videos, and Gray 17 came right up, and it was a picture that I was in, and my son, who is going to be 7, said, "Dad, is that you? Is that your podcast on YouTube?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's right there." And the reaction that he had, I was like, "Whoa!" Like, I mean, I don't have any illusions. I mean, you can dance around in a circle and be on YouTube if you want to, but
And get more followers than us too. But that's just a whole nother thing.
Yeah, probably. But what we do is pretty cool, and it comes from pure joy out of for the most part out of this series, which is amazing, and it's underrated.
And Nicole, what about you?
Nerf herders, I like it. Nice job, Aaron.
I think when we interviewed Claudia, I was just like, damn, we're that valid.
That's a good one.
We're getting, and then we interviewed Peter, and I was like,
Oh,
damn. Like, I mean, obviously, I was like really impressed with the numbers, and I was really excited. We got a Patreon, and people seem to like us. But when we interviewed those cast members,
Yeah.
that solidified everything to me, and I was like, damn, this is legit.
Jessi.
I think it was the first live that we did. Was it TKO? Was the first one? I can't.
I think
feel
so.
Like it was.
I think so.
And we were on for like 4 hours, and
Yes.
people hung out with us the whole freaking time. And you know, people were people. So that was the coolest, because I don't know, like the fact that we have people right now watching us and like interacting with us, that's our normal right now, right? But it was not our normal at that time. And I was like, what do you mean you guys want to like watch us on a screen just answer questions and make fun of each other? Like, that's so weird to me. And then yeah, we had like 50 some people in that night, and then like over the whole thing it was like 100 and some, and I was like, holy shit, people are watching us. And then I agree with Nicole when we interviewed Claudia and Peter. I was like, this is awesome. Big fan.
So I got a couple. One I'll give you is actually Blake's. If he was here, he'd answer this. Blake was at a conference for work. And this was October of last year, so this was not deep into this. And the person presenting at the conference started randomly talking about this podcast they're listening to, and it's about an old TV show. So Blake went up to him after the session and said, "What show were you listening to?" And he said, "Grey 17." And Blake, who lives in Oregon, by the way, we're all in Illinois, kind of, for the most part. And the person's like, "Grey 17." Blake's like, "Oh, that's weird." The other one I would say for me, going to the interviews and stuff, is we did reach out initially to a few folks, and we got some good hits and we got some good interest. That was great. But when I knew we were getting somewhere with this thing was when Chris McCauley came to us, who does the Claudia Christian's Dark Legacies, and just said, "Hey, Claudia would like to do a show with you guys." It wasn't, "Hey, Claudia, would you like to come here?" It was, "Hey, Claudia wants to hang out with you guys." That's when I knew, oh my God, we can't screw this up. But yeah, it's been great so far, that's for sure. So let's keep going down the line.
We both raised our hands.
So unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop off. But it was great to see you all, and great to see hear from some listeners tonight. But sorry, I got to bug out.
Bye,
Have a good
Kevin.
one, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Bye, Kevin.
Bye.
Bye.
Nicole,
I
you
would
got
just
your
like
hand
to
up.
add, which I'm surprised you didn't say, Scott, finding out. Yeah, I would like to add that I'm surprised you didn't say this. Finding out JMS listens to us,
God.
and also Bester, like
Walter Koenig.
yeah,
He has a name.
So the fact that I know, I forget. But the fact that him and JMS have listened to us, that's wild to me.
It's terrifying.
It's epic. I think it's awesome. Now I just really want to get his attention and get him to like come on our show now. I'm all about it.
I love how Nicole slams on the mute before she finishes talking too. That is
All the time.
awesome.
Sorry.
Jessi, go ahead.
I about the Claudia interview, I know we've talked about it before, but I was terrified to talk to her because Emily's shaking her head. Totally different reason, I'm sure. I had spent the entire season talking shit about her character. Like, I just like she's the most unlikable person, and look at when she smiles, it looks like a snarl. Like, who says those things? And then I had to sit in front of her and talk to her, and she was the sweetest and beautiful with the most perfect hair.
Perfect hair.
The hair.
She was like literally gorgeous.
I was so distracted by the beauty of the hair.
Yeah.
I was like, God, I'm so jealous.
I even told her that. I was like, you have great hair. That was like the first thing I said to her. I'm like, I probably sound like a psycho, but I had to say it. Her hair was gorgeous.
She was looking amazing. She always looks amazing, but she was looking amazing that day. And you can see that interview in our back catalog.
Yeah, she was.
We actually have more coming up. I kind of pepper in during the show, like, hey, I'm working on this, I'm working on this. We've got potentially, until they get in front of the camera, we don't, but we've got potentially 3 more interviews coming up. I will say, if you haven't seen yet, the Screen Actors Guild went on strike. They're going to go on strike in a couple hours at midnight. The Screen Actors Guild has said that actors should not and cannot participate in any kind of activity while on strike that deals with acting. So Comic-Con's going to be fun tomorrow. But so no actors are going to be doing podcasts for quite some time if they're on SAG, and we're gonna not bug them about it because I think I can say with, at least especially with the 3 here with me, we believe in unions, we believe in their right to strike, and we're not going to bug actors while they're striking. So we're definitely going to continue to get some folks on, but it's going to be a while. Reptilian Samurai says, can't wait for Severed Dreams podcast episode. It's coming 3 weeks from now. Enjoy. It was fun. Let's see. Steven says, see, that's why we want reaction videos, to see the holy shits when it first happens. I think Justin's was really good, the first one he put out. Yeah, so. What was that? Nicole, you raised your hand, I saw.
So I watched the last episode on a plane, and my original plan was to record myself watching it in the airport. I thought that would be crazy. Like, I'm in the airport watching the episode, and then I didn't have time to, so I had to watch it on the plane. But everyone around me got a show on the plane because I forgot I was on a plane. And I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, shit. I was like yelling at my screen. Girl next to me was like, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just really into the show. I really wish I would have been able to record it, but I wasn't able to. So I will do the next one for sure.
I'm seeing some of you complain about commercials and causing buffering. I'm going in. I didn't think the monetization was on for this one. It looked like it auto did because YouTube is stupid. So I just turned the monetization off. So that should help you. But that means we get no money off this episode. So just saying. Okay. I see a spoiler in the chat. We're going to leave that one alone. No spoilers, folks. No spoilers.
All right. Isn't that out?
Let's see.
There we go.
Yeah, also, too, Reptilian says, or did Grey 17 get big? Finally, after we learned how to pronounce Ivanova. Some of us still kind of questionably do.
We got yelled at, you guys. You laughed about us not being able to say her name right. Scott, talk to us.
We had a talk.
Scott said, stop it. You're pissing people off. I said, oh, that was the point.
Yes, there was multiple discussions.
We get hate mail for 2 reasons: when we're too liberal and too woke, and when we mispronounce Ivanova's name. That's the 2 times we get hate mail.
Or when you're a woman and simply express your opinion and you get called names. That also happens.
Well, but don't women deserve it, right, Nicole?
You know what? No, we don't.
Have you listened to Exogenesis yet? Our actual
Not yet.
Enjoy. I may have inserted a comment just for you.
Oh, great. So you made me sound like an asshole?
No, but you called me out when I wasn't even there, so I had to say hello. I also made fun of Mike. You said that no men listen. And so
because they don't.
And so I pointed out that Nicole may be stereotyping people based on their gender, which is really cool.
Okay. You guys do it to us all the time, sir. Thank you.
Not
very
you.
much.
See, she just did it again. She just said you guys, and she made it every man does it. That's stereotyping.
Guys incorporates girls too. Guys is everybody in my book. I call everyone guys.
Okay.
I'm just teasing you, Scott. That's fine. You can roast me. I don't give a shit.
I do. I enjoy it. It's all love. Ryan from Yum Yum says, now Jessi just needs to accept Lita. You must accept Lita, Jessi.
Well, listen, I'm okay. So my mom told me that if I have nothing nice to say, I should not say anything at all.
That'd be a boring podcast.
I will not say anything.
Be nice to Lita. Be nice to Lita.
I like Lita. I don't know.
And I found out Lita is a possibility to interview. Shit. I was like, well, great. Now I've talked about her too. Ryan is right. I spend all day long just shit talking all the characters. And then I have to like look them in the face and be like, yeah, no, I totally hated your character.
So Emily mentioned that JMS listens to us. I think it was Emily who mentioned that. And Aaron says the Great Maker's going to get you. Let me tell you, I've only pissed off JMS at least 4 times since we started the show, and I feel freaking amazing that I've pissed him off because these guys, all 3 of them are new to the world of JMS. They may have caught some stuff and just didn't know it was JMS. Like if you watch The Murder, She Wrote, he was on there for quite some time. But I grew up with JMS, okay? Masters of the Universe, okay? I remember my 3rd birthday, because that's the first one I remember vividly. My cake was a He-Man cake, like the shape of He-Man in all his muscular prowess. It probably looked like I was going to a gay pride parade with that cake. But that was my first cake. And then we had the real Ghostbusters, which JMS helped to create and then helped to salvage a few seasons later. You got Captain Power and the Soldiers of the Future. I had my little gun that could shoot at the screen, and I would explode if I didn't get enough points. This man has been involved in my upbringing in pop culture since the beginning. So when I piss him off on Twitter, which I do regularly, it makes me feel special. JMS knows me. Not in a good way, but he knows me. Let's see. Tim says, if JMS did offer you an interview, would you ask him no spoilers? What would you ask him? Okay, good question. Let's go around the horn on this one. First, I will say we probably will never get a JMS interview. And the reason is because he has said several times that he feels obligated that if he does one podcast, he's going to have to do a whole bunch, which is why I helped to create the League of Non-Aligned Podcasts. JMS, you can do it one time and be done. Okay, Nicole, what would you ask JMS if we had him on an interview?
Oh, that's a good question. I think I would ask him, where the hell does he pull this creativity from? Because when and how he, from what I understand, from what you've told me, he is basically, Babylon 5 is novel, right? He had it all planned out from the very beginning.
For the most part.
And what was going to happen.
For the most part.
Yeah. How the hell did he come up with that is my question. Like, where do you pull that from, and how do you write such an epic long thing, and then like how does it feel to see it come to fruition? That's what I would ask him.
Mm-hmm. Emily.
Man, that's a tough question. I want to know who his favorite character actually is. He wrote all of them, but does he have a favorite?
Jessi.
If I could ask Space God any question
Space
in
God.
the world, I would ask him to
Jessi,
settle.
Sorry, real quick. I'm about to drop a bomb in the group. So, Jessi, continue. Just be prepared for the bomb to drop. Go ahead.
I would ask
Oh,
God to... Hi, Justin.
I just told everybody,
God.
be prepared for a bomb to drop, and then Justin pops in. So, Justin, we'll get to you in a second. Jessi, go ahead.
You ready?
Sorry, Jessi, I stepped on you just like you stepped on me.
You're fine. I would ask him to settle the argument once and forever. Who is the one and only Space Jesus?
Oh, is it Zathras or is it somebody else?
It's Zathras all day long.
And
You
by the
can't
way,
say
people in the
It's
chat,
Zathras.
people in the chat, no spoilers. No
It's Zathras.
spoilers. Okay, Justin, first off, say hi.
Hi.
There he goes. Justin, the question on hand is, if you got a chance to interview JMS, what would your one question be?
Catching me off, hitting me with a curveball.
This is
right
what
off the
happens
bat.
when you show up late. You get curveballs.
Yeah, right. God forbid I had to play softball today, and I found out about this like 5 freaking minutes ago. God, one question.
Mm-hmm.
Has everyone else answered yet?
Yes, you're the last. Well, you and I are the last ones.
Okay. If I had one question, I would actually, and it may end up getting answered before the end of the show. So this is my newbie kind of partake on this, but I would like to know kind of the thought process behind the Vorlons.
Okay, cool.
Kind of what inspired the Vorlon race to him? What inspired even just the old ones in general, the ancient races? because I'm really, really, really fascinated by that, as people well know.
I'm going to take a cop-out answer because I know over the 40 plus years JMS has been doing this stuff, he's been asked every single question known to man, and the ones that these guys just brought up are great ones. I would just take a moment to say thank you to him, to what I had said just earlier about him being involved in literally my upbringing. I have a He-Man action figure above my head that you can't see. So, and by the way, I didn't mention that he was the showrunner at the beginning for She-Ra. Princess of Power is another one he did. He actually left before the show aired because they were like, She-Ra can't use a sword, and he's like, screw you, I'm out, because she gets to use a sword. So that's what I would do. But let's keep on going here.
Hey, wait. I have a quick question.
Nicole, go ahead.
You kind of just answered it. So you're saying that he was involved in She-Ra, right?
He was actually him.
JMS.
And he was one of the folks working on putting the show Bible together. So he was working on He-Man, the Masters of the Universe, and they said, hey, we want you to jump over and do She-Ra.
Okay, so, and you said he was involved in the original Ghostbusters, correct?
The real Ghostbusters, the cartoon, yes.
Okay. So I apparently was destined to like Babylon 5 because I was obsessed with She-Ra and He-Man. I was She-Ra 4 times for Halloween in a row, every year for 4 years. I was obsessed with the Ghostbusters, the cartoon, the movies. I had the buttons, I had everything, the soundtracks, everything. So clearly I'm destined to be a B5 fan. Okay, I just had to get that out there because I heard you say that, and I didn't know that because, we're not allowed to Google anything. So I had no idea. There's probably more that he's been involved with that I love. So I guess maybe, I feel like I was destined to be a Babylon 5 fan.
The other person...
We're not allowed to Google anything, but it doesn't mean we don't from time to time.
Justin does a lot. He IMDb's people and I yell at him.
Not a lot, a couple times. But actually, I guess I also liked JMS before I knew I liked JMS either, because I was always a big He-Man. And I also watched She-Ra because it was the same universe, so I enjoyed that just as much as well.
2 things. One, I mentioned he was one of the people who worked on the She-Ra Bible. The other one was Larry DiTillio, who also has written for B5 and was one of the guys who worked to get B5 off the ground. And the really fun story with that comes from JMS's autobiography, Becoming Superman, and I recommend you read it right now or listen to the audiobook. It's read by Peter Jurecic, but my newbies can't listen to it yet because there's a lot of spoilers in there. But he's sitting there one day and he decides he has to quit She-Ra, and this is before it went into production. He was making the show Bible and putting it all together, and he goes to the office of Larry DiTillio, who is also working with him on, and says, Larry, we got to quit. And Larry's like, I don't want to quit. I want a paycheck. He's like, they're not letting She-Ra be who she needs to be. And if you ever watch She-Ra now, the old She-Ra, when she spins around like a tornado and knocks people off the screen instead of actually fighting them and punching them, that's what he didn't like. He wanted her to be able to punch, kick, and use a sword. So he tells Larry, we got to quit. And Larry says, fine, I'll quit. But if I don't get another job after this, I'm going to hunt you down and kill you. And so JMS said until the end of time, he had to make sure Larry was a producer on everything he did, so Larry didn't kill him. Which is what, I mean, Larry DiTillio is a great writer and producer as well too. But the joke is the reason why he's on B5 is so JMS wouldn't kill him. Let's see here. We have a request from Ryan to interview Warren Keffer. I have put out an ask to the actor. We also have Shadow saying you need an interview. Well, go ahead.
Who's Keffer?
You mean Kefler?
You mean Kefler? You mean
Kefler?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd interview Kefler. Why not?
I mean, we've only totally criticized him on the show. It'd be perfect.
Yeah. You know what, though? I really wish that now knowing, I wish I could have talked to Marshall Teague. I know that it was a spoiler and we weren't able to.
I haven't confirmed him yet, but I know Marshall said he would love to come back. And now that we can talk Talon, we'll bring him back. What I'm waiting for, Nicole, is you haven't seen the end of Talon, so I'm waiting for a few more episodes so we can talk a lot about Talon. But gotcha. I want to get Marshall back for sure. Shadow says you should interview Pat Tallman, Jason Alexander, Ed Wasser, and Peter Woodward. Stay tuned. Local says, and we were just talking about the SAG strike that starts any minute. In fact, it's going to start here in a couple hours. because of that, SAG members are being told not to do any podcasts, any festivals, any cons, anything. So we're not going to be bugging anybody for an interview until the strike is over, because we do respect their right to strike, and we think that they should be given a fair wage and fair residuals and not be overtaken by AI and all that good stuff. That being said, Wilco says this is a huge strike. I think only Oppenheimer premiere is just in time to release. The shows are going to release that have already been filmed and in the can. The studios aren't going to pull those. But if you watch tonight, Oppenheimer had its major premiere, and the actors showed up for the premiere and then left before the film was premiered. And Christopher Nolan,
the London premiere, yeah,
Christopher Nolan, classy director, and the directors may strike too. They haven't yet. Said, look, my cast is on strike, and so we support the cast, and they're not here. So, but Oppenheimer will be out, and Mission Impossible 19 drops in a couple days, but anything that's in filming right now is on hold. Anything that hasn't been filmed yet is on hold. And of course, this absolutely does impact the reboot. The reboot's already been on hold because of the writer's strike, and now they couldn't get a cast if they wanted to. So it's going to be some time before anything happens. And the studio heads, and this will be the end of my soapbox, the studio heads have said that their goal is to keep the strike going until the writers and now the actors don't have apartment rent and don't have mortgage payments, and then lose their houses. And that's when they'll come back to the that's actually what a studio head said yesterday, under anonymity, because he doesn't want to say it with his name, or they don't want to say it with their name. But so this strike is not going to end anytime soon, and so we'll be supporting that too as much as we can by leaving the actors alone and letting them do their thing. And by the way, somebody said on a chat I was on earlier, well, they make millions of dollars anyway. There's 150,000 members of the SAG, and I guarantee you 99% of them are paid scale, which means not even a living wage. So shut up. Okay.
Well, and especially since these studio heads want to be able to pay a background actor for one day, take an image of their face, and then just use them as AI for all of eternity. And I think that both the Teamsters and the Directors Guild both issued letters of solidarity, so they may end up going on strike too.
Well, Teamsters have already been doing it. Teamsters are awesome. What they'll do is they will call, and this was for WGA because the actors weren't on strike yet. They call WGA members and say, hey, Marvel is filming a movie, and our trucks have to be there by 6 a.m. So if you happen to have a picket line set up before 6 a.m., we won't cross it. And so the writers scurry over, put up the picket line, and stop the Teamsters. So these guys, solidarity is awesome. We all need to go watch By Any Means Necessary again.
Bastard.
Reptilian said, I met JMS at a signing reading for his autobiography. He didn't like my question, asking if we'd ever find out what had happened in Crusade. He liked it to asking a parent what happened. It cut off there, but I know what you're talking about. He does the same thing when you ask about Sinclair, because obviously the character, and we've talked to the newbies about this already, the character left because Michael O'Hare was having medical issues and mental issues and all of that. He doesn't want to talk about it, especially now that Michael O'Hare has passed away. I've seen him on Twitter say, it's like asking a parent of a child who passed away in childbirth, what would the room be for the baby's room color-wise? You just don't do it. So that now I will say, I mean, the anime movie has Sinclair in it. We know that for a fact. That's not a spoiler. Sinclair is in the anime movie. So we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, it's a different voice actor. But, so do not ask JMS about his failed projects. Do not ask JMS about Sinclair. For one, he's probably been asked about 7 million times. And two, he just doesn't want to talk about it. And he is a crotchety man, and he will say that to your face. He is crotchety, and I love him for it. Reptilian's other part just popped up. Their dead child would have done. Yep, I agree. Crusade's another fascinating story, and these guys don't even know what we're talking about with Crusade yet. But there's an interesting insert into his autobiography about Crusade that deals with alien sex that you really should check out.
Is it one of the movies?
Crusade is a spin-off series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that lasted 13 episodes, kinda. It was one of those like Firefly that was actually canceled before it started airing. So they got 13 episodes. We don't know if we're going to watch it yet or not because reasons, but we'll figure it out. I don't know what this means, but Aaron says Scott spoke to you firmly. Oh, it was about
about Ivanova.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Christopher says, I found you guys all with the whole B5 for the first time Chuckle Nuggets mix up. Love you with all sense. Well,
that's hilarious.
It was directed at us, not at B5 for the first time. So you came to the right place. It just took you a little while.
We're glad you're here.
I'm scrolling through. We got so much in the chat, guys. Thank you. Keep sending in the questions, and I will get to them. Let's see. Ryan keeps talking about Warren Keffer. Okay. Yeah, Ryan. Okay. Ryan then also asked, I'd ask JMS why the pilot film is so damn horny. Stick to the list, Ryan. Stick to the list.
Thirsty. I think thirsty is the appropriate term.
Shadow says, what was the ultimate fate of the Techno Mage Order? Well, you can ask JMS that. Yonatan says, was all this really planned back in 1986 when he was pitching the show to all the studios? Until the show pitch in 93. Funny story, the first ones have recorded a what if. We actually got a hold of the B5 pitch document, and we went over what the differences are and what was originally pitched in 93, again, including if Sinclair had stuck around for the whole series. And we've recorded that, and I will be releasing it when a certain episode arrives. So we have recorded that, and we will be talking about the original plan of Babylon 5. So hang on for that. It'll be coming out here, I think in October. Pretty soon. Ann says, I have faith the league will eventually get JMS to do an interview. Fingers crossed. Hey, man. Or not a man, but hey, Ann, we're working on it. And we actually are continuing to grow the league. Ryan is a part of the league. The B5 for the first time guys are a part of the league. I actually reached out to a couple more podcasters and YouTube folks who are doing B5 stuff and asked them to join in too. So we're growing the league of non-aligned podcasts as we go. Mega is a member of that. Mega had to drop off a little bit ago, but he's a huge supporter of ours. You should check out his. You should check out Ryan's Yum Yum podcast and a whole bunch of other folks who are a part of the league as well too.
I love the league.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan now says,
Ryan.
Kosh is my space Jesus.
Kosh is a space Jesus.
I agree with that. Kosh is my homeboy.
Sean says, back to the SAG strike, you have to feel for both actors and attendees of the upcoming cons because the actors are now banned from any type of promotion whatsoever. Timing sucks massively. Yeah, and Sean, completely hear you on that. It sucks because, for one, B5 The Road Home, the new anime movie, is getting premiered at Comic-Con, and the voice actors, the surviving cast of B5 were set to be there, and now I'm going to guess they're not going to be there. I will say, though, you say banned in all caps. They're not banned. They're being asked as members of the union to stand in solidarity and not support anything that would detract from the union strike. So, I mean, these actors could do whatever they want, but they're not going to because they support their union. So it's not really a ban. But now I'm being semantic because I'm a union guy. Sorry. Let's see. Keep throwing your questions into. I am catching up, I swear. Yeah, I still think the anecdote about the real Ghostbusters episode, Janine, You've Changed, says so much about JMS. Real quick story on that, and I will keep moving. JMS left the show after the first season, and the studio's like, Janine is too strong a character. Janine needs to be the comic relief. She's the female. And so after JMS left, Janine became the comic relief, and then JMS was asked to come back and write the ship, and he wrote the episode, Janine, You've Changed. And what he did in that episode is said a demon took over Janine ever since he left the show, and now that demon is being taken out of Janine. So JMS is like, whatever you writers did while I was gone, bullshit. Done. That's very much
God
JMS.
forbid we have a strong female character.
Yep. Let's see. I see another spoiler in the chat. Don't do that. Bad, bad. Bad, bad. Yeah, Yonatan, I haven't seen the movie yet. I have asked for a screener, so hopefully I'll get it soon. But you say, I'm excited that Sinclair's character can live on, albeit without the same actor. I think him and the rest of the cast we lost would be proud of the anime movie and future B5 stuff. I think you're right. I'm looking forward to seeing it. The trailer that I've seen, and none of these guys have seen because I asked them not to watch it because there is spoilers even in the trailer. The voices that they picked, and especially the voice actor who's doing Sinclair, he's also doing Zathras. I've reached out to him too because he, just in the trailer, he sounds perfect. And also, if you follow him on Twitter, I'm blanking on his name right now, so if anyone can do a Google search real quick and put it in the chat, please do. He's excited. He's like, I get to be on Babylon 5, and he's being a nerd about it. So I really want to get him on too. David asked, will the cast still appear at San Diego Comic-Con? Looks like no. SAG put out a list of things actors should not do while they're on strike, and being at conventions, fan expos, doing podcast interviews, doing any kind of stuff like that is a no-no. So they will probably not be at SDCC. Now, the Writers Guild didn't do the list like that. That's why JMS can still show up at this stuff. But the Screen Actors Guild was very hardcore about that. Okay, here's another question. Tim, ignoring the current history of the show, what 2 characters would you ship and why? Doesn't matter where they are in the show. What 2 characters would you ship and why? I'm going to go to Nicole last. Justin, which 2 characters would you ship? Doesn't matter if they're dead, alive, or whatever.
I was kind of want to defer to the expert, Nicole, on this, but if I had to ship any 2 characters, just for shits and giggles, I would love to ship Bester and Ivanova.
Oh, God. You are a sick, sick man. Okay. Jessi, who are you shipping? Doesn't matter if they're alive or dead.
Zathras and Zathras.
The Zathrai? Okay. And they'll have Zathras babies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Baby Zathrases.
Baby Zathrai. Emily, who are you shipping?
Lanier, and if I remember right, her name was Adira, the dancer that Londo was involved with.
Londo's kind of girlfriend, kind of not. Okay, Adira and Londo.
Scandaloso. Like it.
Nicole, who would you ship and why?
So, as opposed to the currents, we all know who I'm shipping already.
Everybody.
I would say if I had to pick random people to ship, I would kind of want to see Garibaldi and Ivanova.
Okay.
I could see that. But I do love that Garibaldi and Talia ended up together in real life. That makes me happy.
There are some characters that I would ship that these guys haven't met yet, but I will go with what they have seen. And I would say I would ship Garibaldi and Dodger, because Dodger needed to get laid before she was killed. She was just looking for some good Garibaldi ass, and she didn't get it. And so that's what
R.I.P. Dodger.
I would bring Dodger back to life just to lay Garibaldi. Or anyone for that matter, because girl needed to get laid. Okay. Wokel says, Mira Furlan was amazing at the reunion, talked about the wars she had to escape in her home country and made it into B5, was crying on stage to the fans to thank them all. Her passing away hit me hard. Yeah, no, Mira she's amazing. And these guys finally saw one of the best Mira scenes last week, and we haven't released the episode yet, but there are more to come. Mira gets to do a lot of stuff with Delenn in the second half of the season, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, it's really a shame that we couldn't speak with her, because I think her story is amazing. Her autobiography was released a while ago, but it was just translated into English, because it's not her native language. So if you can, it's kind of hard to get, but it is online, so I would check out Mira's autobiography. It's a good one. She's got an amazing story. She left us far too soon. Okay, let's keep going. Ryan says, I'm keen to know how Emily feels about Delenn's overall journey thus far. She's gone through a lot, and I want to know Emily's take on stuff.
So far I'm really happy with it, and I actually did a reaction video for Severed Dreams, so some people might find that interesting. And yeah, I like that she's allowed to do more and be more, I don't even know if aggressive is the right word, just more like solidified in what she knows is right and moving forward. And if anyone tries to stand her way, basically fuck them, they need to move. Like, if they value their life, they need to be somewhere else that's not in her way.
I don't know if it's my favorite line in the entire series, but it's one of the top ones, and I'm so glad. I hope some of you recorded reactions while you heard it the first time. I hope. Because only one human has survived a battle with Minbari. He is behind me. You are in front of me. If you value your lives, be somewhere else. And then they just get the hell out of Dodge. There's no
I love
talk.
the reaction better.
Yeah, I wrote that down, and I highlighted it as one of my favorite lines so far as well.
Those cruisers just get the hell out of Dodge. They don't play any games. So like, oh shit, we're out.
Yeah,
if you could honestly, if I could cut any sound into it, I would cut that cartoon, that cartoon skedaddle.
Oh, that's nice. I like that. I like that.
Like as the ships are bolting away.
I actually had somebody mention to me a few days ago, I think it was in the comments of one of our YouTubes, is they want a Rocky-style montage of all the Kosh and Sheridan training, and I'm working on it. So, let's see. There's some more Union talk. I'll skip over that. I think I've got on my soapbox enough. Disneyland Kid says, have you watched Starship Troopers Roughneck Chronicles, which was a cartoon? I have, and it was dismally bad. Justin, I think you're the only guy here who would, or any person here, who would have watched Starship Troopers Roughneck Chronicles. Have you?
Well, I have, and I'm shaking my head because no me gusta.
It looks like somebody puked out bad. CGI. It was, yeah.
It was. I get the intent. It was just poorly executed. Because honestly, I think having kind of a series of kind of what the Roughneck life was like, I think would be very cool. It just wasn't done well.
Next one, Ryan is chatting with Benway saying A Space Above and Beyond is actually good. Yum Yum is actually doing a episode by episode of review, A Space Above and Beyond. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. It was an amazing season, and that's all we got was a season.
Ahead of its time.
Yeah, the fact that they ended on a cliffhanger, and I can say is because it's been this long. Well, no, I won't, because in case somebody watches it. But the cliffhanger they leave it on really pisses me off. Mm-hmm. There's another really good sci-fi show. If you haven't watched, it was on Showtime for a hot minute. Actually, I thought of it because Manny Cotto just passed away a couple days ago. Manny Cotto was the executive producer of season 4 of Star Trek Enterprise, and the best season of Star Trek Enterprise. But before that, he did a show on Showtime called Odyssey 5. And if you have not watched Odyssey 5, check it out. It got canceled quick, but it's another good sci-fi show. Let's see. Let's keep on going. Ryan again says Linear loves dancers. That's a fact. We have seen that. Okay. Vanessa has named them Zaptopods. So that's what we'll call them now. Ryan says Zach and Lou would be shipped. Okay. So the replacement would be shipping the old guy. Let's see. David says they would ship Londo and Timov, actually married. Okay. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Wokel says, thanks, Scott. I wasn't aware that Mira had a biography. Go check it out. It's great. Also, Claudia's biography is really good, too. I will say, though, I will literally put a trigger warning on Claudia's biography. It is rough. The woman has been through a lot. It deals with addiction, deals with the death of her brother at a young age, and she does not hold back on the death. She gets into graphic detail of what happened. So just fair warning, it is an amazing read, and she came out of it stronger, obviously, as we have all seen, but it is a rough read, but that's a good one as well, too.
Can we read any of these or no? Dylan's and Ivanovas?
Nope, because they all talk B5.
Okay. Yeah.
Sorry. Wait until
That's
October
okay.
next year.
B5, then we can use Patreon money to buy me Mira Furlan's autobiography, right?
There you go.
No, he said we can't read it, right?
You can't read it now.
I can hold on to it.
Oh, yeah.
That's doable.
Oh, yeah. As soon as we're done, I'm reading JMS's book, Dylan's book, and Claudia's book. I want to read all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Reading all of it.
Mm-hmm.
Read it all.
David says, surprised no one shipped Franklin and Marcus. They do make good, they make good buddy cops and
buddy cops. Yeah.
I would say Franklin and Garibaldi before Franklin and Marcus, but
that'd be interesting. Jonathan says Dylan's husband is Sinclair. Smiley face.
Thank you.
Aaron
Did
asked
you?
Oh, go ahead.
Did you skip Shannon's question about
Did
what
I
show
miss
I
it?
would have you guys watch? Because it was
Oh, I'm trying to keep up. I may have missed it. Shannon, pop it in the chat again. Just
if Jessi could pick any
well, then
show
there you go. Just answer the question if you got it in front of
to
you.
make you guys watch, what would it be?
Oh Christ!
I know that Ryan knows this answer. It would be True Blood.
Oh, I'd be all about that.
Man, you know,
All about it.
I loved True Blood until it jumped the shark hard. When the fairies showed up, I left. I was out.
Okay,
still gotta
because you
finish it.
stopped watching at the wrong time. If you watch the whole thing, it's a fucking amazing.
Okay.
I never watched it, so I'm down. I've never seen a single episode.
I
so.
loved it. The first
It's so
season
good.
is really good. And actually, it was, I mean, even the cult stuff was okay. But when the fairies showed up, I was just checked out, man. But
Oh,
hey,
what about Stranger Things? I
love
would do
Stranger Things. I'm way-
That's
I'm
good.
totally down. Yeah, that's
as,
great.
As an
I
80s
love it.
kid, Stranger Things is great. And I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to season 5 if it ever comes out.
This motherfucker is gonna open the garage door again.
Here it comes. Here it comes. She's gonna
Get it
kill
on
her
video.
husband.
Get it on tape. Get it live. Let's do it. Live garage door opening.
Let's see. Let's keep going. Can somebody put a link to Mira's biography in the chat? Because I have my two screens are being used, so I can't do it. But some people are asking about it. Just go search Mira's, not you guys. Go search Mira's biography and put it in the chat, please. It's out there. The English version is out there.
Oh, somebody mentioned Firefly in the chat, and I feel like I need to watch that because everyone says it's good.
You can watch it in like
yeah.
a night. Seriously.
Oh, okay.
It was canceled
And then
after
watch
13 episodes.
And then watch Serenity after
Don't
that.
do it the other way around, by the way. I actually watched
Right.
Serenity first. Don't do that.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
I didn't catch it
no.
when it was on Fox, because Fox is Fox. So, but yeah, watch Firefly, Nicole, and then watch Serenity. And maybe what I would recommend you do is for a bonus on our podcast, you can do reactions while you watch it, and we will put them up, because that would be
I
fun.
may do that. Okay.
Let's see. Keeping going here. Okay.
I want to do something with the original Battlestar Galactica because I have not watched the original.
We'll enjoy 1980.
Yeah. Oh, I've heard, but
Budget
I've
cuts.
not watched
1980.
it. Yeah.
I used to watch the original Battlestar on Sci-Fi Channel reruns. I liked it a lot. Probably because I was a kid and didn't care. So Ryan asks, so is Londo too far gone for the newbies? Guys, is Londo too far gone?
Oh, I wrote him off episodes
Man.
ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Go ahead, Nicole.
it's a hard question because I feel like yes, he is, but I also am the optimist and the positive person in me is holding on like a grain of rice shred that maybe he'll come around, but I doubt it.
I'm in the same boat. I don't know either, but I'm a big believer, and it has nothing to do with religion, but I'm a big believer in redemption and second chances. And so I haven't 100% given up on Londo yet, but I'm in the same boat as Nicole is. I'm not hanging onto that thread really tightly.
Well, just remember, Justin, we just heard a few episodes ago, Londo's had 5 chances at redemption. He has failed at 2. He now has 3 more left. And for those playing the home game, save the eye that cannot see. Do not kill the person who's already dead. And give in to your greatest fear, and it will kill you.
And I'm thinking it's going to be number 3.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. Jessi doesn't think we're going to see it because she thinks it's a 5-year show. And her prediction that she made a few episodes ago is that we won't see it because it's after the show's over, which is quite possible too. We shall see. Tim asks, if you had to go to war, which one character would you choose to accompany you in that war? Nicole, you are emphatically nodding, so let's go to you first.
Hands down, Garibaldi.
Garibaldi, okay. Is it? We're talking about Babylon Square Garibaldi, where he's just shooting randomly at aliens, right? Yeah.
I just feel like Garibaldi doesn't fuck around, and like
Unless you're Dodger.
well, I feel like I just feel like he is like, if shit needs to get done, he's gonna get it done. He's got like that little mafia edge in him, and that's probably why I like him because I'm Italian. So that's my guy right there.
You guys can win the war and then make banyakata. You'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Anybody else? Who do you want to take the war?
I'm taking Ivanova.
Ivanova? Jessie's taking the person she hates.
Yeah, she's a fucking badass, and she's not scared to like say it.
The people in the
She'll
chat
do it too.
the people in the chat who have watched the series are now in their heads, and if they're not, I'm gonna make them in their heads, thinking about when you finally see the most badass moment Ivanova has. It's coming, and when that moment comes, I'm actually, when that episode comes, I'm gonna make you film a reaction because I want to see your reaction. It is the most badass moment for Ivanova, and I would say it almost rivals Dylan's badass moment from Severed Dreams. And the people in the chat know exactly what I'm talking about. Don't put it in the chat. No, don't do it.
Is it going to make me question my sexuality? Because it sounds like it might.
You haven't already?
Okay, I have when we interviewed her, but you know.
It doesn't make me question mine. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm taking Kosh.
Okay, Kosh is
Kosh, because honestly, he can be savage when he needs to be.
He'll bring his ship.
Just ask Deathwalker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kosh and his ship.
He can be savage when he needs to be.
Emily, how about you? Who you bringing to war?
Dylan. Mm-hmm. No questions.
Right.
I would.
Oh my God, we all picked our favorite characters. Who would have known?
Shocking.
I will say my favorite character I can't bring because, well, I don't trust him. But
yeah,
I would say Jakar. And the reason why I would bring Jakar, you guys haven't seen yet. But I bring Jakar.
Fair enough.
And like speaking of badass moments, Jakar's going to have a few. Here we go. Season 3 and 4 and 5, they're going to be fun for you all. Okay, let's see. Richard Biggs and Jason Carter were great friends in real life. I wonder if that friendship was a place when Exogenesis was filmed, or was that maybe the start of it? I don't know, Neil. Of course, Richard Biggs has passed away, unfortunately. That's Franklin, for those playing the home game. But Jason Carter is still around. I have reached out to Jason Carter's admin on his Facebook page and haven't heard back yet, but I would love to interview Mr. Carter if we can. Tim says he left True Blood the same time that I did, because Tim is cool like that. Ryan is shipping Detective Andy from True Blood with Lou Welch, because Ryan has an obsession with Lou Welch.
That made me laugh really hard.
Is this spoiler territory to ask, is Lou gone for good at
Yes,
this point?
and yes.
Is he? Okay.
No, we can't tell you.
Bummer. I love Lou.
Catherine says, I would love to see this crew do a Farscape podcast. Mike, who's not here tonight, he is a huge fan of Farscape, so he would not disagree with you on that. Wokel says, Master of Puppets was so cool in Stranger Things. That was my favorite scene in Stranger Things.
So good.
One of my favorite new bands I just ran into, they're called Keep Flying.
Metallica?
No. My new bands I just learned into. Keep Flying, they're out of the East Coast. They're a ska punk band. And I don't know how they don't get sued, but one of their tour T-shirts, which I have, is of the guy on the trailer playing the music. It's just, I love that scene. I love it. Reptilian says, when we get the B5 reboot, what would you like to see changed? I can't say anything because what I would like to see changed hasn't happened yet. But you guys, newbies. Now, keep in mind, JMS has said it's not going to be a script-for-script retelling of the show. He wants to do a different story. He wants to do something different with it because he's already done the Babylon 5 story, and he wants to do a different Babylon 5 story. That being said, if it was, we're just going to redo the show again with some changes, guys, what would you like to see changed of what you've seen so far? Emily, we'll go to you first.
I'm not sure since I haven't seen the whole thing. I don't feel like I can make a educated.
Way to cop out. Good job. Jessi.
Well, I don't know what else you'd expect.
Jessi, what would you change of what you've seen so far?
Londo. I would make Londo not such a dick bag.
Okay, you would just skip Londo's arc of doom. Okay. Nicole, what would you change of what you've seen so far?
From what I've seen so far, I would change the Talia storyline. I don't want her to be bad and like and shitty. Yeah, I want her to be like pre-implanted Talia.
Justin.
I would probably have a lot more cage fighting like TKO.
More TKO. I like it.
More
More
TKO.
Muay Thai. More Muay Thai.
That's such
More
a dude
Muay Thai.
answer.
I have a whole series just based around Muay Thai, just
Muay
kind
Thai, the
of kind of like
series.
what's the Karate Kid series that's out there now
Oh,
on
Cobra Kai.
Netflix. Yeah, kind of like make that, but like just all about Muay Thai.
Shannon also
No.
says she's all in for True Blood or Stranger Things. Good.
My
Ryan
girl.
with another one. Let's make, again, lightning round, guys, because I know Justin can go hours for this. So so based on where you are in the show now, which we've already kind of given away, we've watched Severed Dreams. How do you feel about the slow burn of Earth being the worst? Real quick, your thoughts on Earth being the worst and the slow burn to get there. And now
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah, I'll
Go
go
for it,
first.
Justin. Go for it.
I mean, I think I called this like very early on in the series that I kind of had a feeling this was the way it was going to go. But yeah, Storm.
For me, I would say we knew it was coming. It just took fucking forever to get there. I was kind of like, all right, come on, like, speed it up. I mean, I thought the pinnacle of it was going to be when we saw that Earth bitch and then Morden and the fucking psychop asshole all sitting in a room together. Like, that kind of confirmed it for me, but then it just got even worse. So I was like, damn. So the slow burn was kind of agonizing, I think. I was like ready. Like, we knew that was the direction. I was waiting for the payoff, and it just took so long.
Jessi?
Same shit, different day. Earth is the worst all the time.
The
worst.
Emily?
I have to agree with Nicole. It felt like it took forever to get there because we knew it was coming. It was obvious, and just waiting for it to actually be shown was somewhat frustrating.
See, me being a history guy, I actually really appreciated the slow burn because that's how it works. That's how fascism, and that's what we're talking about here. This is without a doubt dictatorship and fascism. That's how fascism works. And Ryan, I know you know this all too well. It doesn't happen overnight. The Reichstag didn't burn and then we were in World War II. That's not how it goes. It really is a slow, they take a little bit at a time, they get a little bit of foothold at a time, and then before you know it, Mars is getting bombed. And that's how it works.
It takes years, if not decades, to take hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I get
Not
that's
even
reality.
look at Nazi Germany, but just look at Spain. Look at the Franco situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get that's reality, but this is a TV show, and I wanted it sooner.
Right, and we only got 5
Nicole
seasons,
wants
so you're
instant
like, okay,
gratification.
Yes, I do.
we're on limited time here because it's a TV show. We don't have decades.
Hey, at least we know it doesn't get canceled. We get 5 years.
Yeah.
And that's a whole conversation when we get from year 4 to year 5. There's a story there. Okay, so JC asks, since Jessi already answered Shannon's question, what would each of us make the group watch next? So Jessi's already said True Blood. Justin, what would you make us watch?
The new Battlestar Galactica.
Okay, newbies.
That's one of my all-time favorite shows.
Oh,
ever.
it so falls apart in season 4. But yes, okay.
I'm not going to argue with. I have discussions on that, but I'm not going to bring that up at this time.
I would love to talk with you about it because I loved BSG, loved it, and I actually I've tried to rewatch it a couple times, but because I know how it ends, it's been hard for me to rewatch it. That being said,
you stop halfway through season 4.
Exactly. And that being said, the start of season 3, Exodus, that like 4 or 5 parter is still some of the best TV out there. Period. I just wish they could have kept that going. But
my all-time favorite episode's the boxing episode.
Oh yeah,
that's my favorite episode of the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, maybe we'll get to do some extra content with that.
Maybe. Nicole, what show would you force us to watch?
You're gonna hate my answer. I would say either Friends or How I Met Your Mother, maybe even Saved by the Bell.
Oh, man.
Of all of those, I would do Saved by the Bell in a heartbeat.
I'd be down.
It was not serialized. It was a hot mess.
I know, but you got to keep going through the college years.
Yes, you have to. And you
So-
got to end it on Zach and Kelly's wedding.
Amber Tiffany Thiessen definitely have a crush on that woman, still do. And actually, she has a social media account. And I was like, oh, the crush is still there.
She still looks perfect.
Oh
She's
my
gorgeous.
God.
Yeah.
She hasn't aged a day.
Emily, what show would you make us watch? I already know the answer, and we have to do it sooner or later, but go ahead.
Deep Space Nine, because I want
that's
to
not the one I was
see
thinking.
Jesse's reaction to Move Along Home.
I'm a rain. 2 steps more. I'm a rain. Then 3 more. I'm a rain.
Exactly.
I thought you were going to
Also,
say.
can I throw in Frasier in there just because it's...
I like Frasier, and the new one's coming out.
I was
I've been
waiting for Golden
rewatching
Girls.
it because it's one of my comfort shows.
Kelsey Grammer's amazing. Have you watched The Boss from Stars? He plays a really sadistic mayor of Chicago, and
Not
it is
surprising.
fucking amazing. It only made 2 seasons because Stars is stupid, but The Boss, you should really check it out.
But I've heard he's a dick in that show. Yeah.
Oh, he's amazingly bad. And it's just being an Illinois people, like most of us are, all of us are. Oh my God, watch The Boss, because you'll like it's a love letter to shitty Chicago. It's great.
Well, I love Niles on Frasier. Niles is my favorite, so.
He will not be back for the reboot though, or the continuation. Yeah.
Oh, now I don't know if I want to watch
Oh,
it.
I'm sorry to break your heart.
That's okay.
Guys, there's so many. I would love to do D Space Nine. I'm surprised Emily didn't bring up Golden Girls because she's been wanting me to do a Golden Girls show for a while now.
Yeah,
Right.
but I really want to see Jessi watch Move Along Home from Deep Space Nine and watch her just question why she talks to any of us ever.
I question that every freaking day.
I would love to do D Space Nine because obviously the parallels of B5. What I would say is probably we would do something other than every episode gets a week, because that would be 7 years at 26 episodes for 6 of them and 22 episodes for 1 of them, and you would all kill me.
Is that a Star Trek
Well, I
one?
wouldn't
It is.
because I love it, but
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, there's no guarantee you're going to survive to the end of this one, Scott.
It is.
Deep Space Nine is Star Trek?
Yes.
Oh, what am I doing? I have no idea what's happening.
I don't either.
right now.
I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on.
I will say, and I will unabashedly say this, and I know Kevin will fight me on it. Star Trek Deep Space Nine is the best Trek. And for all the folks who get into the old B5 versus DS9 war, I don't care. For one, I think it's
I
way
disagree,
overblown.
Scott, but we can talk about that later.
Yeah, no.
Later.
DS9 is amazing. I am an Odo and Kira shipper until I die.
I'm not a next gen guy either. I've got a different series, but
If you say Voyager, I will smack you around the face.
no.
Because everyone knows I hate Voyager. No, okay.
No. There's some good episodes in Voyager, but as a series, it's not my favorite. Year of Hell. I think that's probably about it.
And Year of Hell just shows you what Voyager could have been. And it wasn't. David says there's an episode not well thought of in the community. Will Scott forget to be on that one too? I didn't forget to be on it. Unfortunately, Scott has to travel for work or be on cruises a lot. But the episode you're talking about, I think I know. And as I said to Kevin, I have plans for that episode, so I will definitely be on it. Benway says, can we do Blake 7? Oh man, British sci-fi. Woof. It took me a while to get Jessi and Nicole not to hate me about normal U.S. sci-fi. And I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying U.S. sci-fi is normal, but British sci-fi? Woof. Neil says, I watched Serenity first. I think opening exposition sequence was actually brilliant. It was. If you just watch Serenity, you can get into it, but I really recommend you watch Firefly first. Aaron says the original Battlestar Galactica was good for its time and being 6. Yes, that's the key. It was good for its time, and I was young. Let's see here. Yeah, Steven says she said destroy, not kill, for what it's worth. Yes, you're right. Let's see. Let's keep going. Oh, man, the chat is just going hardcore.
So does that mean we can't do Red Dwarf?
Red Dwarf would take for a while ever, too. That's a
long one, too, yeah.
Did any of you watch Buck Rogers in the 25th Century? Yes, because it was on Sci-Fi Channel in reruns, and I watched Buck Rogers Like I watched everything on the Sci-Fi Channel, and
I haven't watched a ton of it, but I've watched some of it.
Hey, I gotta go.
You gotta go. Okay, Jessi.
There's a lot of snake milking to go on in the morning, so
we got some snake milking.
thanks everybody for
Just don't get
hanging out
bit.
with us. What'd you said?
I said, just don't get bit.
That's the key. I mean, as long as you don't, you're good to go. Thanks everybody. It was fun. See you guys.
Good night, Jessi.
Bye.
We'll do one more question before I lose everybody. So here's the question, and then for those of you who had questions in the chat, thanks. We'll do these again. Save those questions. We'll definitely do more lives. So, what is the bit of Babylon 5 merchandise that you wish existed? Jessi, you want to say it before you leave real quick?
Narnhub merch.
Damn you, Pornhub! Damn you!
All right, I'm out. See
if
you
anyone
guys.
wants to pay for the lawyer, bye, Jessi. Thanks very much.
Right.
Bye.
If anyone wants to pay for the lawyer fees, I guarantee you we could get Narnhub back, but I don't want to get sued and win against Pornhub because I can't afford it, even if I win. So, for those wondering, our Redbubble account, which is down below, used to have a Narnhub t-shirt. Pornhub sent us a cease and desist, even though it is absolutely parody and covered under fair use. But I'm not going to war with Pornhub because they have more money than I do.
Just frame that and put that on the wall.
I have the email.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
I have the email. Okay. Guys, B5 merchandise. What would you want them to make that that doesn't exist? And you guys don't know what exists, although Justin, you have B5 merchandise on the wall behind you. Is that a shadow? Or is that a different?
No. No.
'Cause I was about ready to say, if you have a shadow and I don't, I'm going to be so pissed. Go ahead.
No, that's Alduin from from Skyrim.
Because I will say this is not something that doesn't exist. Sorry, Justin. I'll get back to you in a
Do
second.
they have a shadow toy?
They do. And here's the deal. So one, these didn't sell very well. The first flight of action figures, which you can see some on Justin's wall. I've got a whole bunch here as well. These guys. So the first flight went out. No one bought them because it's Babylon 5. They did a second flight, and it was a KB Toys exclusive. However, KB Toys was going under because a good old Mitt Romney bought them out to destroy them. Thank you, Mitt Romney. I used to love KB Toys. So they were hard to come by. And then the Shadow figure, you only got if you bought a certain amount of cases of the action figures. So it was like, hey, stores, buy cases of these and we'll throw in a Shadow. And so he is hard to find. He's about $200 on eBay. I would love to have
That's
one.
what I was just about to go look at.
Yeah, I would love to have him. And look, Justin's Googling again after we told him not to.
I didn't actually do it.
I will say, though, I did get the Holy Grail. And this, my brother found this in a comic book shop, and the guy didn't know what he had, so Craig got it for $20. And that is mint in case, Bester. And he doesn't have the yellowing. For those who collect the action figures, most of them have yellowed over time. He is pristine, and he is not coming out of the box.
So Bester's a hard to get one.
Bester is
Bester's
another hard one because he came in
expensive
that
one.
second season of toys that just not many were made. But be careful, Justin, because there's characters you haven't seen yet that you will find when you start looking at these toys. So
That's why I haven't looked in a while. I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait. I'll wait a little bit.
So we didn't actually answer the question. Justin, what merchandise would you like to have that didn't come out?
You know the big, super big ass Star Destroyer Lego? I want that, but B5.
There is an off leg. It's not Lego, but it is building blocks of the Agamemnon. It is $400, but it's pretty.
Okay, girl. I see. Put that on the list.
Nicole, what merchandise would you like to have?
Oh God, I have no idea. Maybe squishmallows of the characters.
Nice, nice. There are Barbie dolls. I mean, they're not Barbie
Yeah.
dolls, but there are dolls.
Yeah,
I love
that'd
a
be
good
cool.
Squishmallow.
But I love squishmallows. So let's make a squishmallow of the characters.
I'm not saying I ordered one on Prime Day the other day, but I might have.
YOLO.
Emily.
Ivanova's blue nightgown. Because it was so pretty and looked so amazing.
I love it.
There's nothing I can say right now that won't get me in trouble, and I'm just going to be quiet.
Just
Okay,
get yourself in trouble. We're used to it.
No, I'm good. Thanks. Okay, Nicole, what do you got?
Ryan said, "Get Justin and I watch Armband," and that made me snort laugh.
Okay, so this is something. This was another one of my holy grails. Oh, I'm breaking shit. Oh my god, I'm breaking shit.
It's not worth it. Abort.
I have all the extra B5 characters that I have, but this is something that I'm so glad I got on eBay again. Somebody didn't know what they had.
Oh, the model.
I need to build this. We're going to do a Let's Build sometime. I haven't gotten around to it, but I have this. But
That's
I will
cool.
say the merch that I would love to have that was never made, and Justin, I think you can maybe help me on this with your cricket. I want a Bear Balon baseball jersey.
That's on my list. I'm the same company I was looking at doing a hockey jersey through. They also do baseball jerseys, so I've been doing some prodding, so we can definitely make that happen.
Because the other reason why I want it is because I want to wear it in front of GMS sometimes so he can get pissed at me because he hates the teddy bear. So I just want to be I want to be the
And
teddy
dress
bear.
up as a teddy bear too, and do a whole like furry ensemble.
Nicole says nightgowns rock. They do.
They do. They're awesome. They're comfortable.
Oh, Benway says hire Ed Wasser. Ed Wasser works construction. He owns a construction company in Texas. I think he's fine. Let's see.
But actually, a Night
Squishmallow
Watch
Kosh.
armband would be collectible, to answer Ryan's question.
David, I said I would be the teddy bear. Doesn't that count as a teddy bear? No, okay. Aaron agrees with me on D Space Nine because Aaron is right, and so am I. Okay, so guys, we're going to wrap things up. It's been nearly 2 hours. Thank you so much for joining us on this 1 year anniversary. The other guys wanted to be here, but as you saw, some have popped in, popped out, some are not available. But we are still rolling along. Exogenesis dropped yesterday, so if you haven't watched that one yet, be sure to check it out on either the audio podcast or on our YouTube. And by the way, if you're watching this and you haven't clicked subscribe and like on the YouTube, please do that. And also, if you do it right now, we have a drawing going where we're going to be giving away 2, if not more, copies of Babylon 5: The Road Home. Hard disk copies that we'll be giving away once they launch in August. And all you have to do is be a subscriber to our YouTube channel. That's all you got to do. If you're listening to the podcast version of this, because I am going to put it out as bonus content, go to our YouTube channel, click subscribe, and you are entered into the contest. We are about halfway through the season. I would want to thank my fellow hosts on being here for the first year and not running away from this. This has been great, and we have just skim the surface because I think the best is yet to come for this. But I will toss it to over the other hosts so they can say what they want to say, and then we'll close it out. So, Justin, go first.
Yeah, thanks everybody. It's been a crazy year, crazier than we could ever possibly imagine. And I know we say that kind of stuff a lot, but it's honest to goodness truth. Like, we didn't expect this to take off and have all you crazy bastards along for the ride. So thank you for joining the Madhouse. Thank you for sticking with us, because just like the show, our first few episodes are pretty rough, but it's coming a long way. We're having a lot of fun, and I'm going to exercise a moment of personal growth, and I'm going to ask Scott to find out if they're doing a steelbook release of the movie, so I can try and get that from. I know Best Buy's usually good about steelbooks, but I didn't know if there's any plans.
What is available right now is the digital download, a Blu-ray disc, and a 4K Blu-ray disc, and that's it.
But no steelbook.
No, but
come on, JMS.
Well, it's not JMS. It's the studio. The studio wants to see what's going to go with. I will say though, for the past couple weeks, the Road Home has been in the top 5 for Amazon sales, so people are buying it. And JMS was unequivocal when he went on Twitter and said, if you guys show support for this, they will order more animated movies. They will. It's not a matter of if. It's if we buy this.
So maybe,
yeah.
Maybe not this one, but a future one I can add to my steelbook collection, because I'm a nerd like that. So, but I am going to buy it when it releases. It's just going to sit unopened on my shelf.
No touchy. Unfortunately,
no touchy. Just like the rest. Well, just like the rest of these, the future seasons are not open. They're sitting on my shelf. I'm being a good boy.
Unfortunately, because we've seen the trailer, I'm fairly sure that this movie starts between episodes 21 and 22 of season 5. And by the way, season 5 has 22 episodes.
So we can't watch it till we're done.
It's going to be a while. I'm sorry. But that's based on the trailer. We'll know more when we watch the show. But Warner Brothers, I'm still asking for my screener so I can get it early. Please, please, please. But yeah, so that's where we're at there. Great. Nicole.
I just want to say thank you to everyone who's here in this chat tonight and hanging out with us and who's listened to us, our Patreon members, anybody who supported us, even if it's just a like or a review or a click. All that really supports us and helps us. And it is really rewarding to be part of this and to go out of my comfort zone and do something new like watch sci-fi, which I am not abreast to like everybody else. So it's been really exciting and fun. Lots of laughs along the way. And there's not many reasons I would stay up past my bedtime. So I got to be up in 5 hours, but I am so hyped to be here that I was not going to miss it. So just really appreciate everybody and thanks for listening. And man, I can't wait to see what happens next.
Catherine says, Nicole, you're great. So there you go.
Thank you.
Emily.
First, I want to say thank you to our newest Patreon. We really appreciate it. And a thank you to all of them. And a big thank you to everyone who listens, because we are definitely not trying to pad in our listen count by, listening on multiple devices. To be honest, I don't even think I've listened to 5 of our episodes yet. So I know those clicks are coming from all of you and not from us. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, and I'm really still astounded by it. And those who joined late, we're gonna hit 20,000 plays sometime next week. And I'm sorry, 20,000. What am I saying? 200,000. That's better. 200,000. And the thing is, it's not like a click and run. You had to listen to us for at least 60 seconds to get there. So that means people are actually listening. And I see the analytics. And by the way, those listening to the podcast, I know 50% of you aren't subscribed on your pod player of choice. So do that, please. But yeah, it's amazing that we've gotten this far. I think, like I said, we're going to hit 250,000 before season 3 is out. And that just is mind-boggling. And as I mentioned, the next 3 weeks are episodes, all of you in the chat, and actually all of you on the host know because you've seen them now. The next 3 episodes are huge. And I think we're going to get some new followers as well, too. So to those of you who have joined us after the fact and are catching up, thank you so much. It's been an amazing year. Our timeline is that we'll have at least one more anniversary because we're going to go until about September, October of next year with the B5 movies and the rest of the series. So we'll be doing this again this time next year. And who knows what happens after that. Maybe we'll be watching some True Blood. Not really, but maybe. But yeah, thanks so much, guys. This chat has been great. As always, you guys are amazing. Again, please make sure to click that notify button so you know when we go live again. And if you can, join us over on Patreon. The link is down below as well. We do have that Discord server going, over 60 nerds like you all talking about B5. And also there is the Beyond the Rim spoiler section. So if you want to yell about what the newbies missed and what the first ones missed, you can do it over there in the Beyond the Rim chat on Discord as well too. But guys, thank you so much again. You are all amazing, and we will see you next week for Messages from Earth. Have a good one.
Dun, dun. Bye everybody.
Bye.
Good night.